Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Welcome, fellow Eagles, to another episode of RU Nest Talk. I'm Navari Solomon.
I'm Christian A. Wong.
I'm Jordan Shirley.
I'm Moxon Glosson.
I'm Kinley Stansel.
I'm Kimberly Smith.
I'm Wesley Price.
And today we have, an interesting topic that everyone so dearly loves, and it is quarantine. So first, we're going to start off by talking about some trends that we've seen through the past year of quarantine. Quarantine started around last year, I think February or March. And we've seen some crazy trends on social media, personal trends. So let's just talk about some of the stuff you guys have seen. What's the craziest trends you guys have noticed over the past year of quarantine?
I think some people right now, especially like on TikTok and Instagram and stuff, I feel like they're almost like reminiscing, like they miss being in quarantine. And to be honest, like thinking about it, I don't think it was like that bad. Like it was nice just to be able to be home and not have any pressure of feeling like you had to go anywhere or do anything because you literally couldn't. Mm-hmm. So I kind of miss it.
You miss quarantine?
Yeah, I feel like I kind of do miss it. It was nice just to be with my family and just like hanging out. So I kind of liked it.
I'm not gonna lie. I think out of the whole year of quarantine, I probably quarantined about 3 or 4 months, and then I couldn't take it and I got out of the house. But I guess the trends, like you said, I've seen a lot of the TikTok trends and stuff going around. Like last week we were talking about the girl that got Gorilla Glue stuck in her hair, and then that became a trend. And like people were just doing a lot of wild stuff. Like I think it's just overwhelming being in the house, so everybody's just coming up with a lot of crazy ideas. So it's been crazy, definitely.
I've seen coffee coming back. Did anyone make the whipped coffee that was like trending on TikTok during quarantine? I made it and it was so gross, so do not recommend.
I'm glad I don't even drink coffee.
Navari, I really enjoyed way back when it was all the stuff was first starting. I really liked the not that it was good for America, but it was still funny to see the toilet paper shortage. I just thought that whole thing was very interesting, that it's kind of a random item for people to run out of, but I thought that was really funny that there was just no toilet paper in the stores. I thought that was hilarious.
That's one thing. I think like my mom pointed that out when COVID first hit. She was like, she can understand like hand sanitizer and wipes, things like that, but she was like tissue. She was like, "COVID, what's going on with tissue being out of stock?" So that was crazy, Moxon.
And it's weird that was like the first thing people were like, "Oh my gosh, we have to have this." Like they weren't worried about like, cleaning products like they were, but like not in the same way as like toilet paper and like food and stuff. It was like everyone just flocked to getting toilet paper.
Right.
I mean, people were like fighting over it. Like, I mean, I think we did a story on that, like when it first happened, when people were in Walmart fighting over toilet paper. And of course, then all the memes happened after that.
Yeah, a lot of memes. So what's been like a lot of the habits that you guys have picked up over the quarantine? I know I've picked up some weird habits. Like I think since quarantine, I've been like a lot more tired, but I'll see myself like watching a lot of movies on Netflix, and I never usually watch movies on Netflix. Like I'm usually just like a outdoors person. Like I don't like to be inside, but since we have no choice, I've picked up on a lot of movies on Netflix. So I find that very weird about myself. So what's some things you guys habits have you picked up on?
When I was in quarantine, I probably slept, like I'm already a night owl as it is, but like I probably slept maybe, like if I went to bed at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, I probably wouldn't wake up to like almost 4 or 5 and like in the evening, like the next day. And it would be like that it was like that for like 2-3 months at a time. And I was just like, I mean, eating habits were terrible because you couldn't go nowhere.
Yeah.
So you're just eating crap food all the time.
Yeah, I definitely broke up like
didn't do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I just snacked throughout the day. That's definitely something I've had to work on. Just because I'd wake up at 10 a.m. and it's like, is it too late for breakfast or too early for lunch? And definitely what Navarre was saying, I've watched more TV shows and movies than I have, I think, ever in my life during quarantine. So it's definitely weird because I'm usually an outdoorsy person.
What you got, Wes?
Chicago. So quarantine like completely ruined my appetite. I don't know what it was. Like high school, I felt like I ate a lot. Then we came in for football for camp last year, and they had us eating what, like 3-4 times a day. So I got in a routine of eating a whole bunch, and I gained like 15 pounds, went from like 145 to 160. But once we went into quarantine, my appetite just shot right back down. And like you were saying, I just was watching a whole bunch of movies and stuff, like wasn't really doing anything.
What about the quarantine that made your appetite go down? Was it just like the fact that you're inside and you can't eat like what you want? Is that what made your appetite just go away?
That partially, and I think because I couldn't like go outside and do like the athletics that really brought my appetite. Like I couldn't go train or do anything because that's what would make me hungry.
You got anything for us, Kim?
I haven't really changed much since quarantine. I've always kind of been asleep for most of my life anyway. So it was just like more time to sleep. I was going to say earlier that y'all talking about toilet paper. I was in a summer school biology class and we had to do a project with yeast, but the teacher was like, I have to move the project back because a lot of y'all said that there are no more yeast in the stores because people are starting to make bread. And I was like, that's also a weird thing to do because people were also making a lot of sourdough bread and making starter sets for bread. And I'm like, just buy bread. It's easier.
Yeah, that's definitely weird, making bread from scratch. But another thing that I think was, I guess, a good side to quarantine was music. I feel like a lot of artists and a lot of music genres blew up over quarantine. And so I just wanted to get you guys' insights on that. Like, what do you guys feel like any artists or music popped out to y'all over quarantine? Have y'all listened to more music, less music? Who's been somebody you've been listening to, more often?
I really like 90s and the early 2000s rap. So I would say, Outkast has always been on my playlist. I love Atlanta rappers. So Jeezy, I started listening to a lot.
Gucci Mane.
Yeah, I've got a couple Gucci Mane songs, and I've got some Migos songs on there too. So,
okay. What about you, Wes?
I think I got a chance to like really look at bodies of work in regards to music rather than just songs. Cause like I'd always listen to like a single, or I always go on Apple Music and just look at the song with the star by it or whatever. But I feel like with quarantine, I really started looking at the whole body of work and then going back and looking at whole bodies of work for music that I really didn't listen to.
So who's some artists that you've been listening to lately from?
Mox and rap, rap, Da Baby, Lil Baby. But I'm versatile. I listen to a lot of stuff. Like was listening to the Sade and like a lot of old school music, the Isley Brothers and stuff like that. So it's a whole bunch of different stuff.
That's funny, Wes. I can't believe you listen to Sade. Anything from you, Jordan?
I would say I definitely love throwback music. And I feel like TikTok made me kind of listen to a bunch of songs that I feel like I never would have listened to before. So yeah, and I feel like just like what Wesley was saying, that being so bored, like it gave you the opportunity to actually like listen to the music and like hear all the words instead of just like having it as background noise.
I definitely like learned a lot more music from TikTok. And then I'm a big Taylor Swift fan. I know how people have feelings about her or whatever, but she dropped 2 albums last year, straight fire. They made me sad, but they were fire. And so definitely enjoyed those. So it was a good year for music for sure.
Well, let me ask y'all this. Do y'all feel like the TikTok songs, like, do they not get played out to y'all? Because I know for me, like I'll hear a song on TikTok and I'll hear it 30 times out the day, but then when I hear the actual song, it's like, oh my God, I can't stand it anymore. So like, do TikTok or any social media platform, like, do it ruin songs for y'all?
I feel like
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, but I feel like that happened with radio like a long time ago when people listen to the radio. Like you
Yeah.
hear the songs all on rotation all the time. When they get played out, you're like, all right, I'm done with this.
I do that by myself. I often, when I like a song, I listen to it like for 3 days straight until I get sick of it.
Me
And then I
too.
listen to something else. Yeah. So I'm
You
used
listen
to
to a
that.
song for 3 days straight.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 days straight. I've listened to like one song probably over 100 times in like a month.
But
But
that
yeah,
at that point, you're kind of asking for it to play it out for yourself. Like I think, like me, I'll listen to a song probably like once or twice if it's good, then I'll go to something else because I know I don't want to get bored of it if it is a good song. But you just
yeah,
asking for it to play it out.
it depends on the song. But yeah, if I really like it, then I can't stop listening to it.
So yeah, so what are you guys' favorite songs right now?
I've been listening to sometimes I pull a Kim and I just listen to a song over and over and over again. So I've been really listening to "Put On" by Jeezy and Kanye, and I've just been listening to that
Classic.
over and over again. I love that song.
That is a good song. I like that one.
Nick Jonas is coming out with a new album tomorrow, and so I've been listening to some of his like previews, and I'm super excited about it. So I can't wait to hear it.
What?
Is it called like Spaceman or something? Something
Yeah,
like that?
that's what the album's called. Yeah.
Yeah.
People still listen to the Jonas Brothers?
Yeah.
They came back. Where have you been?
Yeah. Seriously, what?
I didn't know people still like, I don't know, like I thought they fell off. I haven't
Me
heard
too.
No.
I know you used to watch Camp Rock.
Yeah, Camp Rock.
Yes.
I think that was the last thing I've heard from the Jonas Brothers, and then that
Didn't
was
hear about their big comeback.
I have not followed up.
And
on
their
it.
documentary that came with the comeback
They have a documentary.
on Amazon. You can get it free with Amazon Prime.
I mean, is it just like following their lives or like?
Yeah. Sorry to break for a second.
Yeah.
Miss
Yeah.
Professor King said she didn't know what Camp Rock was.
That's concerning.
Really?
I have no
Watch
words
that
for
in
you,
class.
Professor.
We're
Oh,
doing
man.
homework for the afternoon. You need to go watch Camp Rock this
Yeah,
afternoon.
definitely.
One
And
and
the
two.
second one. The second one's even better.
Yeah, the second one's better. Better production. I was gonna be like, no, but no, I like the second one better.
All right. Well, last thing, let's everybody just talk about how has quarantine, treated y'all over the past year. Do y'all think y'all have, took it and ran with it? Like, do y'all make it the best, or has it just been horrible? Y'all waiting to go back to y'all normal lives? How y'all feeling?
A little bit of both. Like for me, I picked up some good habits and then like kind of fell off, like kind of ruined me a little bit. For one, I think because one thing I've definitely learned from it was being close to family. Obviously, like spending time with more people that I really wouldn't thought I'd spent more time with, or hanging out with those people that you wouldn't have normally hung out with. Pretty much through FaceTime, obviously, since we're stuck in the house or whatever. But yeah, and then like the other side is kind of just I had a routine, and I'm kind of like slowly trying to build back that routine or trying to find a different routine. So yeah, that's pretty much been what's been going on with me.
Yeah, I've definitely learned how to trying to get back into my routine of like being motivated because like when I was in high school, I'd go to school and then I'd go to work and then I'd come home and do homework. And now it's like I'm lucky if I can do 2 assignments. But so I'm definitely hoping to get back into it. But thinking back of like all the stuff we used to do before wearing masks and stuff was like disgusting, like being on planes and like public water fountains, like so that kind of thing. But I think we'll definitely be more cautious moving forward out of this.
It's funny you said it because like I feel like, man, after all of this, I want to know just how nasty people were before that.
Yeah.
But see, what's crazy? Like before quarantine, we didn't even realize the stuff we did was so nasty.
Exactly.
Like it was normal for all us. And then when COVID hit, mask and then everybody using hand sanitizer, washing your hands. Like I don't know about y'all, but like when I went to a restaurant, I didn't used to wash my hands before sitting down. That's just something I did before. But like now when I go to a restaurant, I immediately go to the bathroom, wash my hands, and come and sit down. So
I
Yeah,
kind of had those
go
habits
ahead, Kim,
before.
sorry.
I had those habits before because I am afraid of catching a deadly disease. So I kind of trained myself before COVID came. So when it came, I was like, I'm prepared. Let's go.
I feel like you just live in this bubble where you just don't want any anybody around you. Like, you know,
Period. Yeah, I hate people. I don't want anybody around me. Stay away from me.
oh my goodness,
I was so prepared for war.
for war.
Quarantine, it has some good and some bad. Like in regards to school, like I got lazy and I just kind of was like, eh. And then, some things got, like revealed to me, like in regards to people, like, cause people just stuck in the house. So, I realized like some people, I stopped hitting them up first and then I stopped hearing from them. So it was some good and some bad. Like some good things got revealed to me and some bad things got revealed to me. But I'm happy that, I was able to make the best of it and I feel like I grew during it.
Yeah, see, me personally, I think quarantine, it kind of didn't treat me too well. I just felt like quarantine and like always being in the room or in the house, it kind of made me like think a lot. And I get like, I don't know, sometimes I get so depressed out of nowhere and I don't know where it come from, but quarantine, with me being in the room, all day, I just get these mood swings and I'm like, oh my God, I need to get out because I'm an outdoors person. So like when I'm out and I'm doing something, I don't really get those, depressed thoughts or sad feelings. But so
I'm with you, Navari. I get really antsy if I can't go outside or, go for a jog at least or whatever. I feel like the biggest bummer for me was sports because I really, really enjoy, going to sporting events. I mean, before quarantine, I had opening tickets to the Braves game. I was excited, and then they shut all that down. So that was the biggest bummer for me, but there's also been some positives. I've really gotten to be closer with my family, and I've gotten to be closer with my relationship with God has really been strengthened in quarantine because I've gotten to get into the Bible more. So that's also been a blessing. It's been a blessing and a curse for sure. I think that's the same for most everybody.
On that sports aspect, and I'm glad that football and like all the fall sports that got pushed back to the spring. I'm glad all of that started up. I'm sad I don't see some of y'all faces at the game. I mean, if y'all don't want to support, just say that. But yeah, I'm definitely glad that all that stuff started back because
I don't want to support. 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 I said it.
Why though? What's wrong with coming to support?
Because you can catch a deadly disease. What do you mean? What's wrong with going to support?
Kim, just wear a mask and bring some hand sanitizer, and then 6 feet away from somebody. I can get your support then.
Maybe I'll think about it.
Oh my gosh.
Matter of fact, don't even sit at the game. Just like sit like over the fence somewhere.
I'll call someone at the game and I'll watch it from their phone or something. I'll FaceTime.
That is not the same. That is not the same. What's some things that y'all, miss about pre-COVID?
Sorry.
You can go ahead.
Okay. Well, like, cause I was still in high school and everything went down. And so like, I remember like the week before we all had this big meeting of all the senior stuff we were supposed to do. And of course that got scrapped. And so that was pretty upsetting. And so like going to, we're supposed to have like a senior day where we go to Six Flags, like that kind of stuff. And of course, no one's been there now. And so like just having that cut short and not being able to see my friends one last time, that was like kind of rough. But I mean, I definitely miss that, but like it's made me connect with like my real friends more and like who truly is like my friend who wants to hang out with me, that kind of thing. So it's definitely taught me patience and like understanding real relationships.
I'm totally with you, Kinley, in terms of seeing everybody one last time. The thing that sucked for me was I dual enrolled at Reinhardt my junior and senior year. So the only time I really got to go to school was for wrestling practice. And even then I never got to see my friends. So I was really excited for graduation. Then COVID hit and, I couldn't see everybody and, say bye to everybody. So that was the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing I missed. Of course, now it matters a little bit less because everybody's gone off to college and everything. But that was the biggest bummer for me besides like sports was just not being able to say hi to everybody and catch up with people.
It's just crazy to think about. Like the other day I was thinking, I'm like, I'm going like to and from my job, and I'm just looking around. I'm like, wow, like just seeing people like walk around and just do like the normal things you wouldn't even think that we wouldn't have anymore. It's just like it's just dead. It's just really strange. So like you can't even sit at restaurants in most places. Some places they open up, but that's another story. But yeah, it's crazy to think about. I think for me, like again, my close friends, haven't really hung out with them at all, even still. So that's pretty much been like the biggest thing.
I think for me, like something that's kind of weird is now I feel like I'm almost because I fortunately have not had the virus yet. And I feel like now anytime I go somewhere in big crowds and stuff, I'm like so nervous. Like, am I gonna get it? Like, I have stuff coming up, like I can't risk it, And so I feel like it's just that mindset of like, are you going to get it? And then also like, how is it going to react with your body? Because I feel like everyone has had a different story with it.
I just realized I forgot to tell y'all. I left the house for the first time last week since quarantine.
Wow.
Hey, look at you making moves. That's it.
Where was your first outing?
Oh, I didn't. My mom just drove me around, like the city.
So you
And then
really didn't leave the house, but I mean,
I didn't go anywhere. But like, I left the house.
Oh
and
my
it was
God.
great. I got to drive a little bit. But yeah, I was gonna say that the only thing I miss is like my friends. And I was gonna go to 2 concerts like in March and April. And I was so excited because those artists never came to Atlanta before. Then they were like, shut it down. And I was like, dang it.
Yeah, it's crazy you brought that up because I think I was supposed to go to a concert too. And I think in April, I had already like pre-ordered my tickets and everything. And then COVID hit and they was like, all right, everybody get your money back, stay in the house. And I was so messed up about that one. But I think that's probably like the biggest thing for me. Because I really like going to concerts. I like listening to music with a lot of people around, just dancing and vibing out. But that's probably the biggest thing for me. Like I love concerts. And once COVID hit, it was everything just went nope. So that's probably the biggest thing that I miss about pre-COVID.
I miss like the freedom, like not having to overthink about stuff, like what everybody was saying, like going out and wondering, like, oh, I wonder if this person has the virus, or like somebody coughs and you being like, like just the overthinking, like not feeling safe at all, doing basic stuff.
Hopefully, this vaccine. I mean, I hope I don't have to take it because I'm so scared of it. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's probably gonna be just like the flu shot, like the flu vaccine. So hopefully this brings us some normalcy back into our lives. But it was really good to get you guys' insights on this whole quarantine thing. I can see, quarantine has had its ups and downs for you guys, and just getting to know y'all side of how quarantine treated y'all. But yeah, that's it for today's episode. We'll see you guys next week. Tune in to RU Nest Talk. See you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.